Call the meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everybody's had a chance to look through the agenda. Is there any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Approve the previous board minutes from February 25th. Are there any additions or corrections to those?
So move.
To approve, is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Public comment. Anybody would like to make a public comment? Okay, we'll move on to appointments. We're gonna have labor negotiations. We'll move that towards the end of the meeting. So we'll move on to consent agenda. We have 5 items on the consent agenda. Any questions on those? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Moving on to action items, consider approving an assignment and assumption of ground lease for airport lease Lot 10, which was sold by Andrew Mildy to Norman Snodgrass. The expiration of the lease for the Lot 10 to Norman Snodgrass is 7/1/2026. Holly.
Hi, good morning. Kind of a lot going on in that hangar, but the airport hangars normally have a 5-year lease. So this is something that's in between that 5 years, so it's just an extra form. The assignment and assumption that will have all the details in the original lease carry over. New signatures are gotten on this assignment and assumption form, and then it will renew and come due when all the rest come due in July of '26.
So he's essentially just taking over the rest of Andy's lease.
You're right. So he did purchase that from Andy though, so Andy's given up all rights to it and
Yes.
yep, now it's Norm's.
Mr. Snodgrass has a plane.
He does,
Andy does not, so.
correct. So that's a +2.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Number 2, consider reviewing and approving payments. Everybody's had a chance to look at those. Carol, you got anything you want to point out? Okay,
I'll make a motion.
is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. I guess we'll move on to discussion items. Carol, do you have any updates you would like to share with us?
No, just that we have our HR officer, who, yesterday said he came back, so that's good. We'll be having some conversations, and presenting some information next week at the work group regarding the recorder's office, elected
Good.
versus option that we may have available, so we'll put together some information on that. Let the labor negotiations prop up, but
Okay. As far as myself, I don't have a lot to bring. There's a training seminar for BOA and Planning Commission members in Mankato here in April. So I'm trying to encourage anybody, and we're welcome to go to that too. It's a pretty, I've been to those meetings before. It's pretty good. You get to learn the ins and outs of zoning and ordinances and a lot of feedback back and forth. You'll have attorneys there to help answer questions, so. Just want to point that out. I'm sure you guys all seen the email. Yeah, so that's all I got. Commissioner Wright, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Let's see, yeah, last week, since we met, I had one event, and that was the legislative update that I attended on Thursday. Actually, it was a 2-day update, but I was there for Thursday. I don't know if any of you guys made it on Wednesday or not for those sessions, but, so that was interesting, as I've been to legislative updates before, but not for the county. And so that was kind of an education for me as well. My group talked a lot about the social services changes and potentially anything that could be coming down due to federal grants. And that was pretty much the focus of that whole era. The whole meeting, a lot of these meetings, I think at the state, are very much focused on possible loss of federal grant money. So that's where they're kind of spinning at this point. But there are a few things that are still moving ahead with some of the mandates and training, like child protection. I think that was one of the key ones that I had noted. And then also the just testimony of different counties on paperwork reduction and some things like that too. So that's all I have at this point.
Commissioner Zender,
Nothing.
Commissioner Schultz.
The only thing I was gonna kind of point out is, spring road bans are on. I don't know if everyone saw that or not, so.
Yep, that's a good point to bring up, yep.
The change, the spring is in the air, I guess.
The mud is coming.
So, yeah, it's nice to help protect our county roads, and townships are out putting their signs up as well, I saw, so. Other than that, that's about all I got.
Commissioner Myrie.
I had the planning commission the other night. We swapped some farmland to residential, and we put a new provision in the rock quarries called minerals. Cover frac sand and everything, and that's about it, I guess, that I have.
Okay. Also in the email, I should point out too that the sheriff is gonna do active training shooting. Understand here in April 3rd.
Active shooter training?
Yes, that's what I should have said, yep. So everybody's been made aware of that. Anything else? If not, is there a motion to go into closed session pursuant to 13D03? Greg made, okay,
Yeah. Second.
second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Commissioner Myrie, motion to come out of closed session at 9:41. Was it Commissioner Zender seconded? Carol have a
So
statement?
the board met in closed session pursuant to Minnesota statute 13D.03 subdivision 1B to discuss labor negotiations, including negotiation strategies or developments or discussion and review of labor negotiation proposals conducted pursuant to sections 179A.01 to 179A.25. There will be no action regarding the closed session.
You turn the mic off or on? Turn your mic back on?
No, we ended it, so. We ended the call, so.
She'd have to call back.
Right. Okay, I guess the only thing I wanted to bring up is that our conflicts of interest ethics thing that we all should sign and hand in to you.
Yes.
Is there anything else that needs to come before the board? Allison, do you have something?
Just an update, our annual Bluff Country Collaborative Career Fair is still on and scheduled for tomorrow. However, we are watching the weather very closely. We've had some businesses asking, and the schools could cancel if certain schools, depending on the time of arrival, do cancel, we may cancel the event entirely. So just an update on that if anyone was gonna stop by.
And then you let the businesses know.
Of course,
Not to
yes.
show up.
Yeah, we will let the businesses know and we'll notify the public as good, as well as we can.
They'll probably be asking anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Prior to coming here, it looked like we were still 4 to 6. With some wind.
That's what they're saying.
50-mile-an-hour.
Yeah.
That's not gonna go over well.
Why is Spring Grove Council or Spring Grove dropping CETA? Why is that?
Well, I don't think that they've officially decided yet, and I think that they are considering changing their contract so it's not as many days. They actually have quite a few days in Spring Grove. So that's up to them. One of the things that CETA did for Spring Grove previously was we managed a fund that they have with some local investors where they would own properties and do businesses and things like that. But some of those properties have sold, and it sounds like that contract is gonna go away because there isn't as much of a need for it, so that's part of it. But, yeah, that's the update on that.
Anything else? Now, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? Greg?
Yep.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.